Hey guys, love and light. I was ready to go to bed and I kept hearing this one message and it wouldn't stop repeating in my head. I kept hearing this same repetitive message over and over again, and I said, well, what do you want me to say to them? And it was more like this. It was more like spirit guides, our ancestors, angels, right? This is what I'm going to say to you. If you tuned into this live or you're here, you're watching this video, this is a very important message, and this is how our spirit guides are helping us. So I'm going to share with you what I'm going to share with you is what I've experienced with spirit. Hi Donica, hi everybody. This is what I've experienced. Thank you. This is from Backpack Buddha. I support them a lot. They make their own things, and it comes from the Buddhist temple, and they pray over it. They show videos of them praying over it. It's awesome. This has the Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Resoha prayer on it. And hi Voodoo, love you. So what I want to tell you guys, this is how our spirit guides help us. Now, mind you, spirit will help you guys in different ways depending on depending on how you work with spirit. Some people are connected to their spirit guides more than others, but you are actually connected to your spirit guides whether you know it or not. So I'm going to tune into the energy and just channel what I'm feeling here inside of my spirit. I'm going to try not to look at the comments too much because sometimes I get distracted. Okay. So what I've been hearing, and which is why I got out of bed, you see my eyes are red. I was literally about to pass out, and then I just I gotta say this message. How I'm gonna explain it to you is like this. Multiple times I've experienced in the astral realm. Now, if you don't know what the astral realm is, that's when you go to sleep and your spirit leaves your body to go do work in the other dimensions, because we are always working, and that's why so many of us wake up so tired from sleep. Many of us feel like we literally our spirit is coming back into our body. I don't know who else is like me. It takes me a good 20, 30 to 40 minutes to fully be back here on earth when I wake up. A lot of times if I just jump out of bed, I'm disoriented. I'm like confused and lost, and I'm like in another world. Okay. It's it's the astral, when you leave your body during sleep, a lot of times you can actually, if you're waking up from a REM state, it's the REM sleep, and you're kind of, that when you're about to fall asleep and your body's buzzing and you're just, it feels like a million pillows or you're just about to pass out. And if you tune in at that moment and you don't either go to sleep or jump up, that's why they say, Buddhist monks say, when you wake up in the morning, to give yourself 5 to 10 minutes of just laying there and recapping on what work you did while you were sleeping, because you can recall a lot of, yes, Donica, you can recall a lot of your dream state, and you can actually remember sort of what messages, because you got to understand, this is how your spirit guides help you. When you go to sleep at night, you think that's it. I'm just sleeping and that's it. And actually your spirit, that's why it's always very, very wise to protect your spirit before you fall asleep. Maybe say a prayer, maybe protect your aura. You want to throw a white light over your spirit. I do it with my daughter when she goes to sleep. I envision myself putting a white light over her so that if her spirit decides to go travel, because her spirit does come into my dreams a lot. And we astral travel a lot. I don't know if anybody's ever told you, hey, you were in my dream last night, or I saw you in my dream last night. A lot of times it'll be because you're playing a role for that person in a dream that represents their, what they're experiencing, and you kind of become the role model, the portrayal of themselves, and so they see you. Oh my God, I'm feeling a gust of cold wind right on my left hand here. A lot of times you're portraying them, and they're almost like they have to see themselves in your vision, because you're kind of like the example of what they need to change or what they need to work on, right? So they'll see you in their dream. But a lot of times you're astral traveling. You're going to dreams to help other people, to work with other people. For instance, I'll tell you guys this, and I'm going to get to how spirit guides want us to know how they help us. they actually didn't tell me to tell you that they want you to know they're helping you. What they want to do is express and expose the fact that they are actually doing work with you on the other side, in the other dimensions, and every time, space, and dimension, past, present, or future. But they're not gonna be like, we are helping you. Like, that's not how it works. I'll tell you something. So the other day, I wrote an email to somebody that I used to date, and I was just checking in on them, and I was like, I want to just know how you're doing, because they experienced a lot of hard times like I did, and because I have never burned bridges with any exes or whatever, I'm still cool with them, and I still make sure that they're okay if I know that they're experiencing something dark. But it's not in the terms of, hey, how you doing? I miss you. It's like more like, hey, I'm just checking in on you. Something told me to check in on them, you know? So I checked in on this person, and I'll tell you in a second, Delgado. I checked in on this person. I wrote them a long email, and then they wrote me an even longer email, and I was reading their email, and I saw right there, I knew there was a reason I was getting in contact with this person. Spirit was leading me to just let them know they're not alone, and they're going to be okay. And I made it through this, and you can make it through this, regarding whatever it was regarding, right? I'm not going to get into the details. Now, I go to sleep that same night, and I have a dream about this person. And this person had a very, very scary, terrible, horrible demon type energy around them. And this demon was so aggressive, like it was so aggressive, it showed itself to me. And I had to grab it by the neck. I have cut many demons' necks off in my dreams. It happens a lot. And it'll be like I'm doing it for someone else. But basically, I took the demon that was trying to like choke hold this person, and I cut the neck off the demon. Like this, I've done this in my dreams before for myself and for a lot of other people. I've literally, I'm getting hit so hard in the back of my head. And Spirit is showing me, yes, you do that kind of work. That's what I do. I slay demons, I guess. You know, not like intentionally, but if there's a specific demon-like energy, when I say demon, I'm not talking about like your Bible demon. I'm talking about like a dark soul, someone who just cannot go to the light, someone who wants to hold on and grasp onto somebody's sadness and weakness and further expose that, further like just use it for their own advantage. So I had the dream that night of her, and I cut this demon's neck off, and then I wrote the email and said, hey, I had this dream, I'm just letting you know the neck was cut off, the snake, and now you can further on and keep going, like you can keep doing this. And they were like, thank you so much, and like, very appreciative, and then telling me that they're watching my videos and it's helping me. Now, the way spirit guides want you to know that they're always helping you, Flurry, the demon slayer. And it's crazy because I didn't think like it was that serious until it was happening, and people were telling me like, yo, after I spoke to you, one of the things that I hear, I know that I'm a spirit guide in the human form, in the flesh, okay? So one of the greatest things that I hear from people when I do a reading on them, and Donica, you will experience this coming forth because you are a powerful light worker and a very powerful psychic and very powerful channeler. One of the things that I experience the most is people will say to me after I had a reading with you, and this is something that's been happening lately a lot. Well, it's always happened, but I'm noticing it more now. And they'll say, yo, after I did the reading with you, it feels like something left me. Like it just went away. I'm like, yeah, I know, because I probably slayed your demon. You know what I'm saying? Like that one attachment that you had on you, I had to slay my own. I had a lot of them. They followed me from past lifetimes. It was it was very, very aggressive. They were aggressive all of the time, and this was sexual, emotional, addiction-wise, physically, mentally, all types of demonic entities that were attached to me, probably because of the type of lifestyles I may have lived in past lifetimes, because I know I've lived some really huge ones, and I've also lived some very like low ones. So, I had the attachments. Now, spirit guides, the way that they always help us, the way they help us. And again, spirit did not tell me, oh, go tell everybody how we help them. We need them to know. I want to let you guys know, and therefore they're guiding me through the correct information, and they're hitting me in the back of the head because they love this. Because one thing Spirit loves is when you speak for them and you do it correctly. So you have people that will speak for Spirit and then they'll just say whatever. I listen and make sure if it doesn't feel authentic, I will not say it, okay? So I want to let everybody know how Spirit guides help me throughout my journey and how they help you unknowingly or knowingly. Some of you might know this through angel numbers. You might know this through the regular guidance that you get on a single everyday basis. What you don't know is that spirit guides and angels will come to you in many, many forms. They might come to you through your boss. They might come to you through your family member. They might come to you through a complete stranger. And they will come to you with numbers, and they will present opportunities that are for your highest good. Okay? Hi, soul. So I will tell you, when you speak to your guides the way I speak to them, I don't speak to my guides like, all right, I got to speak to my guides. It's time to meditate. I have to get really deep into it so they can hear me. I talk to them like they're sitting, because they're right in front of me when I need them to be. And I will sit in my room and have long conversations with them. And I will listen and talk and listen and talk. And the way that they help you is this way. One of the main things I want you to know about spirit guides or spirit or loved ones or ancestors, your wishes, you know, the things that you ask for, it can't be immediately pushed off into the universe and sent to the highest, the highest, like, the boss of the bosses of the skies, whatever you want to call it, because there's levels to this shit, just like there's levels to the shit here on earth. In the spirit realm, there are also levels to things. And so that if you have an issue or you're dealing with a certain situation and you go and you pray, yes, your prayers get heard by someone, right? Depending on who you send that prayer out to. But then for me, it's like a network. How it goes for me is like this. You'll pray about something, and then that family member will hear it, and that family member will find a way to give it to someone else and someone else and someone else. And it will like vibrate higher and higher. And the more love you put into that prayer, the more love you put into that request, the more it's heard by the higher realms. If you put requests out like, oh God, I wish fucking these people would stop bothering me, like, and you're like angry about it, it will not shoot up to the place that it needs to. It'll just instead stay stuck in, like, I would call that like the limbo prayer world. This is how I'm feeling it, and this is how I'm picking it up. Everybody has their own opinion, right? But this is what I'm feeling it, and this is what I'm picking it up. I love you guys. So what I'm saying to you is spirit guides. When I speak to them and I ask them, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to make an example of it so you understand what I'm exactly saying. You're welcome, guys. I'm going to make an example. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to make an example so you understand what I'm saying. For instance, I'm going to speak on something that I've experienced so you could understand what I'm saying. I had to, before I even knew about spirit guides and all that, I had to deal with battling depression, addiction, and all that stuff on my own, not even spiritually connected. I just knew that there was something going on and I needed this to change. And so I had to battle that. And then when I started to discover spirit was with us and this was available to me, it became a much quicker healing process and letting go. Okay, you understand? And it became harder for me to do those things because I knew spirit was around me. But before that, I healed on pretty much like on my own like concepts, my own knowledge of knowing that I needed to heal. I didn't really feel like I had spirit all around me, all that. Today, if I try to do drugs, I know that there's spirits watching me and I'm not trying to disappoint them or let them down. And so it's harder for me to fuck up. You see what I'm saying to you? And it makes it easier for me not to fuck up, and it makes it easier for me to stay on the correct path because I know there's always spirit watching me, spirit guides, angels, family members, children. There's children's spirit watching us all the time. I'm not saying all the time. But when you're doing something that could possibly put you in danger, spirit is always there. Dark spirits and good spirits. And so if you go somewhere and you do something that is dark and it's depressing and it's not good for your highest good, you're going to attract different types of spirits. No matter where you go, remember, spirit is always there. There's always some type of spirit around, okay? For instance, I cannot go to hotel rooms today unless I have to because I just can't. I'm not comfortable because I just know what goes on there, because I'm in tune and in tune with spirit, and I know what goes on. I don't just go to just anybody's house anymore because of spirit. Like, I know that there's spirit around. So my spirit guides, when I started to really be aware and discover that I had this team behind me that I wasn't completely aware of, but now that I am, and I'm always wanting to express it and to share it with everyone, because you need to understand, when I say you're not alone, I know it can feel like we're alone. You could be like, yeah, but I am alone. There's nobody here. But I know. But once you tune into spirit and you know they're around, you will never feel alone ever again. And you will feel okay with, hey, you know what? If I never find someone to fall in love with, it's okay, because I'm going to be happy anyway, because I got myself, I got spirit, I got the universe, I got God, I got life, I got everything. And you start to understand that it's okay. You start to be able to be with self. And when you're with self, it's not scary, and it's not lonely, and it's not depressing. It's empowering, actually, because you give yourself the time to recognize who you truly are. And this is how spirit helped me. And when I was going through my spiritual awakenings and all of the things that I experienced, ups and downs and rounds, it was a roller coaster ride of light and dark, dark night of the soul, shadow work, deep trauma work, past life stuff where I saw myself being sex trafficked in past lives. In my dream state, they showed me that stuff, because in the dreams it's easier, right? If you see it, it's like you wake up, you're like, was that a dream? No, but I saw it, and I've seen myself experience starvation, sex trafficking, just family bullshit, drama. I was a drug dealer in one lifetime, fucking Japanese girl. I saw myself the other day in a dream, and I was in Japan, and I looked in the mirror and I saw my face, and I was like, I was like, no wonder why I have this thing with Japan. And then I saw myself as a Jewish girl getting married off at like 12 years old. You know, I've seen my past lives and I've reviewed them, but here's how spirit guides helped me. In the midst of these past lives, and while traveling through these different dimensions, or traveling through these different spiritual, like, you know, it's almost like a life review. While traveling through these dimensions and through these life reviews, spirit will, do I see spirits straight in front of you, or like in the corner of your eye? I don't see them straight in front of me, because I've asked them not to do that, because that's a little overwhelming. That means I have to walk around and see them all day. It'll be more like, I know they're there, I'll feel it, and I also will see them in my third eye. So it's like, I've described people to people before, and it's been like, it's just like, I don't know, it's like a knowing. I'm claircognizant to the fullest. That's a person who knows something without knowing exactly how they know it. They just know it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very psychic and very empathic to the point where I will literally feel what they're doing, and I'll like want to do the same thing. So I have to tell myself it's not me. Yeah, that's awesome, Vision. Yeah, exactly. So like I said, the life reviews that I've had, this is how our spirit guides have always been there for me. And they will explain and describe through this message to you. Give them a little time to work with it. This is a big message for some of you. I could get tears in my eyes, because some of your ancestors and some spirit is really... They really want to do it for you so much faster, and really like help you get through this faster. But it's like they're saying, like, you have to experience it this way. It's like, I cannot give you the shortcut to your lessons, because your lessons need to be learned a specific way. And if I cut the cord and give you the shortcut, I'm literally getting emotional. If I cut the cord and give you the shortcut, or the easy way out, you will have to repeat this lesson again. The reason why I'm getting emotional about it is because I know how they feel. And they feel like they watch us struggle, and they just so badly want to like tell you exactly what I'm about to tell you right now. They want to get in your ear and be like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You have to understand it's going to be okay. This is just a journey. Just experience it. You're taking it too seriously. Have some fun. Enjoy yourself. They really need you to know that. And for some of you, I'm getting like a family member spirit energy coming in and saying like, and I promise you, this is not my energy. I was not in an emotional state. I have not cried in a while. Been very, very like emotionally stable. So I'm picking up energy here. And it's your spirit guides, your ancestors, your loved ones. This message is for you. to know, to listen, to understand that they are with you always, and they want so desperately to come in and say, hey, it's okay, like one more week, or it's gonna be we're just gonna show you a few more things. They're literally trying to help you. You want the fast way out and they can't give it to you, but they kind of are, because they're giving it to you hard and fast, and it's painful. And these spiritual awakenings that you're going through, it's like a clicking of a vault. You know, when you try to open a vault, it's like click, click, click. You see what I'm saying? In order for you to open that safe, you have to find the combination, right? You kind of got to play with it a little bit, turn it to the left, turn it to the right. And that's what your life is. You're literally like it's a combination lock. You just have to keep playing with it a little bit and open it to the right, open it to, listen for the clicks. If you look at the thieves when they steal vaults and their master, they can open up a lock with just putting their ear against the vault and turning it and listening very quietly to the click. Once they hear the click, they know that's the combination number. Then they sit quietly, turn the ball, and then they hear the next click, and that's the next one, until they finally get to open the vault, and inside is the treasure. I must be picking up a channeled spirit from an ex-thief because this is something that to me makes a lot of sense. You are literally experiencing life through your own clicks of combinations and numbers and synchronizations and serendipitous meetings and like the magic that's within you, learning first to dissolve everything that you have been taught, all of the words. Me and my past life vision, for real. I've seen myself as a real thief, drug dealer type, like murderer type things, which is why I know so many lessons I had to learn in this lifetime and experience pain myself because of the shit I've done to people in my past lives and even in this lifetime. That's why we're all like, oh my God, that person hurt me. Baby, you know how many people you probably hurt in your past life or in this one? And it's like, you have to learn that lesson too, baby. They ain't the only one to hurt you. So this is what I'm trying to say to you. You want me to make your life easy? Next time you cry over somebody who hurt you, just stop for a minute and go, what have I done? What did I do to deserve this shit? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're here for a reason, and it's not a punishment. Like, here's where I really want to tell you what Spirit is trying to say. They want you to, we're not punishing you. No. God's not punishing you. This stuff you hear about you're being punished in your Bibles and all that, that is bullshit. It's a lie. The lie is made so that you can think that every little thing you do is under microscopic review and God is going to punish you for all of the sins that you've done. Everything that you enjoy, you're going to get punished for it. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. I hate to, you know what? I'm going to say it. Spirit has been leading me to say this for a long time. Just say it already. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say this right now. No, you're welcome from my perspective. We all have our own perspective. Nothing's a lie. Nothing's the truth. It's all, I want to say something that I've been not saying and avoiding kind of because I don't want to offend anybody. Some people are very religious. And let me just say something. For the longest time, man has lied to and manipulated our holy texts. And there's a very small portions of them that are real in there and that are truth really from prophets that have been channeled by, I'm getting tapped in the right eye, that have been channeled and written in the books correctly. There has been many a times where the texts have been changed completely because let me just tell you, the main objective of the elite or the powers that be, the main objective for them to you is, and hear me out when I say this, their main objective is to keep you dumb. This is why they put poisons in our foods and all that to keep you docile. This is why they got everybody on prescription medication, why Big Pharma runs the world, why the Vatican holds all the secrets, why the main Fox News and all of them are controlled by 5 people. This is not a conspiracy. This is the truth, okay? So if you want to keep living in your conspiracy world and you want to keep thinking people are making up conspiracy theories, 90% of conspiracy theories end up being true and they get shown later on. I gotta say to you, these are the lies that you're told. This is the agenda of the powers that be, to keep you stupid, to make you think you're not powerful. That's why Constantine, I always come back to the story. Constantine, the emperor at the time, was presented with the Bible by a pope, and the pope came to him and said, hey, this is the Bible, this comes from Jesus, it's Christianity, and this is what it is. And this was a long time ago, and Constantine took one look at this Bible. This is a true story. Look up the story of Constantine revising the Bible. Looked at the Bible and went, we can't give this to people. And the Pope was like, what do you mean? Why? It's the knowledge, the sacred knowledge of God. And he said, we can't, because if we tell them this, then they can have power over us. We don't want them to have power over us. We have to change this. And we can't tell them that they're able to connect to God or that they're spirit, they're powerful beings. We can't tell them that. Let's change it. And so he revised the Bible. And from that moment on, the Bible, and before that, got revised over and over and over again. Not just the Bible, the Quran too. I know Muslims, I was born a Muslim, okay? They're going to say to me, that's the word of Allah and it was never changed. Okay, if you say so, sure. But if you listen to the story of Muhammad, if you are a real Muslim, then you will know, because I study religions, you will know that Muhammad channeled the Quran and wrote it down, and he was illiterate, wrote it down, but not everything. A lot of the words put into the Quran came from people who said that that's what he said. Just like the apostles of Jesus said what Jesus said, and they wrote it down. You're going to tell me none of these motherfuckers decided that they're just going to throw a couple of extra words or take a couple away, or they don't like the way that sounds, so they're going to put their own version into it and swear that this is the exact words of Muhammad and Jesus. No, baby. Word of mouth, by the time a fable or a story gets told, by the time it reaches you, it's like the game telephone. Johnny went to the store and bought 2 apples. Johnny went to the store and bought 2 apples plus a pear. Johnny went to the store and bought 2 apples plus a pear and plus some toys. Johnny went to the store and bought 2 apples and pear. What did Johnny go to the store for? Fuck it. Johnny went to the store and bought 2 peaches, 3 apples, a chip. You see what I'm saying to you? Right. That's why some dude decided to write the hadith that's completely made up in the hadith, and also saying things like you can beat your wife lightly. I'm so sure God, like the all source light of love, if God is love, eternal love, and God is forgiveness and compassion, why would there be an eye for an eye? When somebody fucks with you, fuck with them. No. Actually, when someone fucks with you, you're supposed to forgive them. That's source. That's the real source of love. We're not stupid. Like you're not dumb anymore. You're not dumb. You've never been dumb. And nobody's dumb because they don't know. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Nobody's dumb because they don't know. They're just unaware. They're unaware because oh my God, I swore I just saw somebody sitting over there. It's okay. They're unaware. So when someone's unaware, hi, somebody's grabbing my hand right now. Hello. How you doing? When someone's unaware, in their mind, they swear that the truth is that what they say. You ever had an argument with somebody You ever had an argument with somebody? Hello, Jupiter, welcome. You ever had an argument with somebody and you know you're right, like you're telling the truth, but no matter what, hello, Unique, well, no matter what, this person will not budge. Like, no, that's not what happened. And in the back of your head, you're like, oh my fucking God, they really will not understand. King, what's up, boo? They will not understand that this is what really happened. And they will not admit their faults. And I'm going to say this because this is something that I've been guided to by my spirit guides to finally let people know. Stop letting these lies like penetrate your aura, because it is literally a detriment to your enlightenment, your advancement. Like, I would beg you to go read things like the Gnostic texts, or the Book of Thomas, okay, or the Book of Thoth, or the Hermetic teachings, or any of these like ancient books, okay, the Dead Sea Scrolls, you know, ancient Samaria, again, Thoth, Osiris, Isis. Listen to all of these things, these enlightened beings that we considered gods and goddesses. I don't even think they wanted to be gods and goddesses, but we seen them in that light because they were free from the concept of restriction, because we do come here to learn restrictions, limitations, lessons, and love as humans, right? Because as spirit, we're free. We are free to be anything we want to be. And I'm going to say to you, I'll take this from the book Swedenborg in Life, okay? There is a book called Heaven and Hell. It's written by Swedenborg, okay? And in the book Heaven and Hell, Swedenborg says that when he went to visit hell, just as the angels took him to visit hell, they took him to visit heaven. It was his life purpose to be a scientist, and then he switched it to a spiritual nature. And yeah, they were just regular folks. We made them God. The whole time they're trying to get us to realize our own godhood. Bang. Bang, bang, dong. Thank you, Jupiter. Sometimes people can express things better for you than you can ever, especially because I'm channeling. So Swedenborg says, this is how God is. And this is why I have to take this concept of, like, you're going to burn in hell. If God, if you do something bad, you're going to burn in hell. I've visited hell a lot of times, and I'm going to tell you, I visited here. Like, I've watched it play out in front of me. I've also seen it in my dreams. I've once to see people burning alive. I do see people standing there like sad and depressed and all that, but burning, I've never seen that. I've seen like evil shit happening, but I've never seen like burning, okay? Now, when Swedenborg is taken to heaven to visit heaven, again, this book is called, it's Swedenborg, Heaven and Hell, okay? And he gets taken to heaven and hell, and the angels show him so that he can tell people about this. Like, this is a scientist who never believed in spiritual stuff, and then boom, one day he had a spiritual awakening, and badang, he just ended up doing this whole shit. So he says, the angels took me to see hell. He said, what I was expecting to see and what I saw were two different things. And he says, I was taken into hell, and I saw different parts of hell, different versions of it. He goes, one place it looked like Great Britain, and everybody was just walking around doing hellish stuff. But they loved it. They were in love with it. Nobody knew they were in hell. They weren't there like, this is hell. They were just like, this is where we at, and it's good over here. We like it. Because God loves you. This is the message. God loves us so much that he even makes people in hell happy. So if God hates us and wants to punish us all of the time, you ever thought that these people that were saying God wants to punish you and God says do this, you ever thought that maybe like some form of aliens, you know, the sky people came down with their flying ships, they would call them? The sky gods came from the sky, and they came with their flying ships, and God came on a ship with propellers? God? You're telling me God, all source, the creator of all things, let there be light God, came down on a ship with propellers? But God is energy, though. Why did he need I don't understand. Are you sure that wasn't an alien, bro? And then the alien came down and was like, I am God. And you were like, okay. You know what I'm saying? And then that God rules and said, follow these rules or you will die. And because you were afraid of this being, because they did have supernatural powers and they were way more advanced than you, and you couldn't understand that advancement, and somewhere in your heads you said that that's God, and the rest of us are now saying that that's God, and we're calling God the God that they call gods because they thought that was God because they didn't know any better. So or I mean, the Vatican wears a hat that represents the fish gods. The fish gods. You know who the fish gods are, right? You ancient Samaria. You watch all the Göbekli Tepe, Lake Titicaca. They found Lake Titicaca. I'll never stop laughing every time I say that. They found all of these things where there were depictions of fish people, half fish, half man. The Vatican's hat is shaped like a fish hat. Like, you just whatever I'm talking about, Google it and research it yourself. I've been doing this research for almost 12 years, okay? And this is on my own because I was like, something's up. And I kept watching everything and listening to everything. They say once the Catholic Church is dissolved that all problems will dissipate. That's what the saying is. I didn't say it. I didn't make up the saying. What I'm trying to say to you is that we are following concepts, right? Ideals and our understanding of God and how we're supposed to act and react to things. And hate doesn't come from the source God. This separation, this division, it came, think about it this way. I'm going to tell you something, and you guys could think I'm crazy. I don't give a fuck. Imagine it this way. Imagine there's a bunch of different, right? This is the Galactic Federation. The Galactic Federation are a group. It's like our senators, like, right? Our what's those, the nations, what's the fucking, all the countries when they get together, why can't I think right now? Okay, what is it called when all the countries they get together? It's the United Nations. There you go. So you know how the United Nations get together and it's every country. Thank you. So every country represents everybody. Thank you. So the United Nations gets together, right? Just like as above, so below, on earth as it is in heaven. Listen, as above, so below, on earth as it is in heaven. Okay? The United Nations, they get together here from all different countries and they decide one nation under God, right? One nation under God, right? The same thing happens in planets, okay? Aliens, our star family, our ancestors, because they're our ancestors, get together. The Galactic Federation. This is a real thing. It's called the Galactic Federation. People have been channeling the Galactic Federation vibrations of Archangel Metatron, the Vegans, the Pleiadians, the Syrians, the Lyrians, the Arcturians, the Centaur, all different types, okay? The Arcturians, there's all different types. Now, there's a team of the head guys, right? The reptilians. The only ones is the reptilians are not involved in the Galactic Federation because they just hate everybody. The reptilians are the ones that are said to have taken over humanity from the beginning of time, and they're still controlling us today. And they say that they wear humans as skin, and then they come on your network televisions and tell you to do something, and you do it because out of fear, because reptilians are fear-based entities. They're fear-based energies, and they push fear, okay? That's their agenda, fear, okay? They suck energy. They're energy vampires, okay? As opposed to Pleiadians who protect us, or the Lyrians who watch over us, or, the Merkabas and all that stuff, okay? So, the Galactic Federation, and then you have, as like I said again, as above, so below. The Galactic Federation up in the sky, imagine there's a group of aliens. I'll call them aliens, but they're our Starcy family. And they sit in a room and they go, all right, so this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And that's it. But then let's say there's a few of them, right? This is where you got your fallen angels from, right? Fallen angels that went against the Lord, the ship. Like, okay. You need to watch Eric von, Ooh, my nose is itchy. Thank you, kid. You need to watch Eric Von Rich. Eric Von Rich, okay? And he explains this, and he says the gods were just aliens. And it's like he explains all of this, okay? Ooh, nice. Can I speak about AI God and the war? Okay, so since you know who owns this, right, and Facebook, right, you know, I ain't got to say no names. That person is said to have, like, reincarnated past lives, and it's not their first time here on this lifetime trying to create a metaverse, which they are creating the metaverse right now. Meta, trying to change Facebook to Meta, right? This person is supposedly one of the top leaders. Well, they're presenting themselves as just this like young person who started a fucking app and blah, blah, blah. But actually they're a top leader in the reptilian-based agenda. And they have stations and networks in the moon. And they go back and forth, okay? Now, I watch a lot of channelers in my life, okay? Yeah. I watch a lot of channelers in my life. This is one of the things they often talk about is that okay, I want you guys to be fully aware. So I can't really say too much because every time I do for like 3 days, I get psychically attacked. So let's clear the energy. Let's protect our aura. Thank you, Pleiadians. Thank you, Galactic Federation. Thank you. I want you guys to pay close attention. Each time a full moon is coming up, please look up at the sky. Please, I'm begging you. Look up at the sky. Don't look at something and be like, oh, it's a star. Stop for a moment. Get your phone out. And look. And look at things. You know, just like pay attention to things like this. Like just pay attention to stuff like this. I took this video the other night. Last night. If you see that thing, it looks like it's like a diamond, like a half a diamond shape, okay? Just pay attention to stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to say to you. When you're out during number 33 I just saw. When you're out during these times, oh, my nose is itchy. When you're out during these times, when you see the full moon is coming, please look at that. Pay attention to things that are in the sky and just look at that. It looks like a diamond shaped, and it's been on top of like right by the moon, because the moon is not just the moon. It is a base. It's a base. People go there, they come back and forth from it. And it's not just aliens. The government is highly involved in this, you guys. I have had dreams about this. Each time I have a dream and the Pleiadians come to speak to me and to see me, they try to take me up onto their ships, and then I end up getting intercepted by a government base. And I saw one of the government guys and I go, oh, I already knew this was going to happen. I'm happy to be here. And he looked at me like, you're happy? I already knew. I've been waiting all my life for you guys to snatch me up and put me on one of your little government UFOs, pretending like it's like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like I've been knowing this. Like I've been knowing there's nothing new under the sun, you guys. The only difference is now we got cameras and internet. Okay, this has been happening since the earth was here, okay? We were created by the ancient Sumerians, Enki and Enlil had everything to do with our existence. You know, humanity was created originally as a slave nation, which is why so many humans still carry the slave mentality and are okay with being enslaved and are okay with following what they're told what to do. I mean, really, look at that. I get videos and stuff. I don't play with my spirit guides. Like they will show them. I'll ask them. I'll be like, can you please come closer so I could see you better? Can you move to the left? The tree is blocking you. I'll communicate telepathically with them. I'm like, yo, if you want me to get a message out there, I'm gonna need some proof. Like, humans are proof-based people, and they know that I am too. I'm not gonna come out here and be like, guys, aliens are real, unless I know. I'm not for what? What am I? Am I becoming famous because I'm saying aliens are real? If anything, people will be like, this crazy bitch. Like, come on, you really want to live in a world where you pretend that it's non-existent? I know. I've seen them. I've felt them. I've heard them. I've experienced them. Of course. You see what I'm saying? My nose started itching as soon as I started talking about that. I'm just telling you guys, right? This is so important. And you know, I just know exactly, King. I love you guys too, man. I love you too, man. This is what we're here to do. We're here to enlighten each other. I mean, I could step outside right now. Give me a second. Right. Let me just step outside for you real quick and just see what's going on. Because there's always something over here. It's always something over here, man. It's always something. Always. Let me just make sure there's no fucking bears and shit. Because I'm in the mountains. Give me 1 second. I'm going to step outside right now. Because just so you guys see, this is not a fucking game. If the skies are clear, I'll see something. Nah, it's mad foggy out. Fuck. Yeah, it's foggy out. It's foggy out. Usually, last night, that's where I got that video from last night. I was mad happy. I was like, holy shit. I was like, what the fuck? Wait. What is that? Does that mean it's locked or not? I don't even know what that means. Okay, I don't know. Alright, so yeah, so like it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. The shit I be seeing over here upstate, but I want you to be like fully aware. So what I want you to do is when a full moon is starting to come, look up. Look at the sky. Really look towards the moon, especially. There's always these two, it's like the mothership and the baby ship. They're always there all the time. They have to be there. It's like they're posted up, waiting. They travel back and forth. In the mountains by me, there's always like these flashing lights, and I'll think it's like street lights, but no, because during the daytime I look and it's just like desolate mountains. Oh my God. She says the government has access to technology so advanced we can't even imagine. You know, when we talk, if I was to do a whole video on this, I'd be here for 3-4 hours talking about this, maybe longer. Because I've done so much fucking research. I've watched so many things, read so many books. Like, it's actually like I'm self-trained for this, but this is where my spirit guides want me to be, is giving this information, you know? A lot of times they'll withhold me from saying certain things because they know the game. Like, this is not a game you play with. You got information that's can stop them from doing something. They will come after you and you will be dead, and they will say it was a heart attack or an overdose. For someone like me, they will easily be like, she did drugs and died of overdose. Because I have a history of drug addiction or mental illness. If you have a history of mental illness, drug addiction, you're fucked. Because they'll just come right in, give you a hot shot, or give you something that make it look like a suicide and be like, well, she suffered from depression and bipolar disorder. Anytime you hear on the motherfucking news something that someone exposed, and then you hear this person they died of they killed themselves, they have a history of mental illness, and you know they were depressed, and then they have all these fake actors come on and be like, yeah, they were saying they were depressed, I didn't know it was that serious. Anytime you have that happen, just know they were murdered. They were murked. You know, people like John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, obviously, you know, all these people. When you get to a point where you're big enough and people are listening to you, and then they come to you with an approach and they say, hey, you're going to do this next. If you say no to that, just be prepared, because they're going to plan your death. All right, so we're going to get somebody to shoot him. And everybody's going to persecute him, and they're going to make him look like he's going to jail. But really, the guy that shot him for them, which he works for them, for the government, and shoots them and kills them, he's free somewhere living with a fucking different identity in another fucking country, and nobody knows who the fuck he is. Okay? Just so you know that. Do not ever for a second, ever. These motherfucking actors, they got people on the internet that get paid to troll people when they say something. Okay? The CDC literally pays people to look at people's comments and be like, if people are saying the vaccine's not real, go in on them. Call them anti-vaxxers. Say that they're bad people. They don't... Yo, girl, boo, boy. You know the fucking setups? The setup is real out here. I feel like, listen, I don't know. I did see like Michael Jackson in what looked to be like somewhere that he was just not happy in, but I don't know if it was actually him. But the guy told me, like, I looked at him, it was a face, it was floating by me, and it looked very sad and miserable. And I was like, Michael Jackson? And he was like sad, like that. Because when I saw that vision of hell, I saw him, but it wasn't like burning and all that. It was just sad. So maybe yes, maybe no. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Oh, 100%. 9/11. When people really... You think your troops going to war is... They don't even know. They think they're being heroes, but why do you think all people from the army and the Navy, why do they all come back with PTSD and lose their lives? This is not a conspiracy, because they figure out they went there and fought a war for no reason, got used and abused by their own government, and got dropped off for dead and said, here, now you're an addict, now you have problems and you have mental issues, because they figured out something somewhere along the lines, like, I don't think this is worth it. Who am I actually fighting for? You know who you're fighting for? You're fighting for your government not to win a war to save us. They don't give a fuck about us. They are fighting for stargates, okay? Energy portals. Don't tell me, Flo, you're bugging. Energy portals and stargates are real. That is why they had the war in Afghanistan. Okay? That means you're empathic, Rican. They don't want you to get along. You know why they create all of these organizations and stuff? Look at the owners of most of these organizations. Black Lives Matter. That's why I have nothing against nobody. I don't know anything, and I don't really care, to be honest with you, about Black Lives Matter or White Lives Matter or I don't trust none of them. Because to me, if you got funded by the government to start an organization, it's a setup for me from the beginning. From the beginning, I don't care what color, what race, what religion you are. If you got funded by big elites and companies and organizations that are involved in deteriorating humanity, and you think that I'm going to support any organizations or any movement, no, I'm not marching for nobody, because I don't know who the fuck you work for, bitch. Sorry. I mean, really. These things that we're talking, this is like fucking real serious shit we're talking about here. They put these people in place, in position to make you think, oh, they're for us, they're for the people. No, the fuck they're not. Ain't nobody from big organizations, big pharma, all of these places. People want to talk about, I love Biden, I love Trump. Baby, same circus, different clowns. They just wearing different suits. Just stop it. Everybody starts off innocent. I want to get into politics to help people, and then they get there and it's like, listen, motherfucker, this is what you're gonna do, and there's no other. You either do it, or we're gonna put that videotape of you getting butt fucked by another dude. Oh no, my family, I'll lose my money, I'll lose my position and my wealth. I could never speak out. We'll kill your family, we'll kill your children. The government did the George Floyd riots and staged it. And I don't even think that motherfucker's dead. I don't know, man. I don't trust any of it. Listen, I don't trust anything I see on the news. Not gonna do it. If government was trying to help us, all the money they were able to put down to open COVID testing sites in every corner, they could have been feeding the hungry on every corner. What you say? Oh, that they really meant well. I don't think so, bitch. The government don't give a fuck about you. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Wake up. Wake up. Wake people up around you. But here's the thing. We're not here to hate anybody. Because love and light. But what you're not gonna do is control me or affect me anymore. And I'm not gonna fall for your bullshit. I go into every store where I live and everybody's wearing a mask and I'm not. And I will look at people and be like, say something. What? You got your mask on, right? Let me be. Let me live. Can I live? Can I breathe? Because, bitch, I already got nose breathing problems. Once I put that mask on, I feel like I can't breathe for real. and then I'll be walking down the store. In every store over here, in the mall, everywhere, everybody's wearing a mask. I'm not. Nobody says shit to me. Nobody. And then there'll be that one other loner with no mask on. And I'll look at them and kind of give them the, like, what up, gangster? They're like, fuck these motherfuckers. I'm like, word. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's compliance. You guys, people are easily, I'm not even talking about just COVID. You guys, there's nothing new under the sun. This ain't not the first time they controlled the masses. And they didn't even have fucking Fox News at that time. Okay? They had word of mouth. The king would send a fucking one man on a horse and like go to the villages and tell these motherfuckers that they need to pay these taxes right now. These broke ass people, they didn't even have a fucking chicken or cut a head off for a dinner, would give them their last penny because the king came with one horseman and was like, the king says the taxes will be raised and you have to. But sir, I have nothing. All right, then we'll take your youngest son for battle. Son, go do our family proud. You must go to war. Did you just say, I can't pay the taxes, so I got to give you my son for battle? Something's not right here. Right. That's why humanity's all fucking retarded, because of all the times they send us into battle, banged our heads against the wall, beating us down, telling us how stupid we are and how fucking useless we are, telling us that to live the American dream, you have to buy a house where a mortgage is $20,000 million. You have to pay taxes, and then you have to make sure the banks are paid, and then interest, and then loans, and then make sure if you want a car, you have to get your credit up. But guess what? If I give you a credit card, you can't use over 31%, because if you do, then your credit score will go down, and that doesn't matter anyway, because you can have a clean credit history. But if you don't, come on, the system is set up to be failure. The system's set up to make you fail, but you have to beat the system. That's the point. It's like, if you want to talk about breaking the matrix, getting out of the matrix, beat the system by not listening to. People get married and it takes their value down completely. People who are married can no longer accept, like, if you're, let's say one marriage person, the woman is on SSI, for instance. Once she gets married, that SSI gets deducted. If she's on food stamps to support her children, once you're married, if your husband works, you cannot receive those food stamps any longer, sweetie. You see what I'm saying to you? Everything they tell you to do is a fucking trap. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not telling you lies. I'm not telling you to scare you. I'm just telling you, be aware. But again, I send everybody love and light, even the government. I'm like, yo, love and light, because you fucking need it. Like, and whoever works for them, I'm like, there might be a special place in hell for you. Not that I wish anybody to go to hell, because I don't. But bro, like, we all have to suffer our consequences eventually, right? Everybody has to suffer their consequences. And even if you don't go to hell, quote unquote, your karmic justice will be due. Karmic justice, your dues. You got to pay your dues eventually. You know, like they say, nothing in this world is for free, especially your bad karma. It doesn't just go unnoticed. It might slip through the cracks a few times here and there, but your karma will always and forever be figured out by somebody somewhere along the lines. I know this for a fact because there was some injustices being done to me even in the astral world. But eventually spirit took note of it, and they started to communicate with one another and go, whoa, this is what's been happening, and this, she's been trying something, this is, and then they figured these people out, and slowly but surely a lot of these spiritual entities and energies that were unhealthily attached to me, obsessively attached to me, were being detached from me. And as I was doing the work, they were helping me do the further work. It is a struggle out here, but you don't gotta make it a struggle. Let me tell you something. One of my favorite Buddhist monks that I watch sometimes, he's from the Shaolin Temple. He always says, be unshakable, right? So I told you, rent is so high, it got fucking motherfucking couples stuck in relationships out here. He says, become unshakable, right? If you don't have a goal, you're never failing. Right? If you're not like, my goal is I have to have this. If you don't set a standard and a goal for yourself, and you don't say, this is where I need to be, how are you ever failing if you don't have something in your mind as to what you're supposed to be? So if you just are, you can never be a failure. Right? You see what I'm saying? 100%, King. 100%. 100%. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? If you don't compare yourself to others, you're never ugly. When you call something ugly, when you call something beautiful, that means you make something ugly. When you don't trust people, you make them untrustworthy. You guys need to listen to this tonight. Lao Su De Ching. You need to listen to this while you're going to bed tonight. You will thank me, I promise you. Listen to that on YouTube. You will thank me. Just let him talk in your ear, and he's just listening to that, the Taoism, the energy of Taoism, and even Buddhism, right? When you listen to the good qualities of religion stuff, like when I listen to some things that are good and light and from the light in the Bible, the Quran, or anything like that. The only thing just Catholicism, whatever they do, I'm always like, shady. I can't. There's something going on here. Like, I always feel like something is off. And it's not, I'm not judging them. I just don't fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? No matter, you listen to that tonight, you will thank me forever, because it will change the way you view things and your perspective on when you don't have a goal to attain, you've already reached your goals because you have none to match. Because we put so much pressure on ourselves, like, I have to be like this, I have to get there, I have to be successful. What is success really? Your success is your concept, your perception of success. So if one person's success is to be a millionaire, that's their version and their perspective of success. If your success is to have a home, a husband, and children, that's your success. There are different versions of success. So a person who's a millionaire and sees a woman who's a housemaker, a homemaker, can say, oh, I can't believe she's just a homemaker. But really, you don't know, because that homemaker, that was her dream. Her dream was to be a homemaker and have a husband and children. Yours was to be a woman who works in a field, is respected, and two different versions of success, baby. Everybody's not the same. We have to respect that, right? We have to respect each other's journey and take it as we will. Not to say, oh, that's not right, that's wrong. When you make something right, you make another thing wrong. When you make something black, make another thing white. If you see things as they are and they're not one thing or another, you will never have any issues in life. My throat's drying up. All right, guys, I love you. I would stay here all night and talk to you, but it's 2 o'clock. I've been trying to say I'm at least going to try and fall asleep until 3 o'clock in the morning. Miguel, I love you. I'm going to try to fall asleep before 3 o'clock in the morning. And as usual, I always play loud to the Chang in my ear when I go to sleep. It's the Taoism. Listen to it, and I think it will really help you and really, really, really get through these next stages, whatever you're experiencing. I feel like, when you listen to some of the wisdom that's dropped on this, it's an audio on YouTube and it's free. So I love you guys. Don't judge me. Don't judge them. We all got an option. Like, we got assholes. Exactly. I love you guys. Have a great night, okay? Love and light. Let's clear the energy and ground. Let's clear the ground. Everybody gets to bed. I just got tired out of nowhere. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. I love you guys. Good night, okay? Good night. Love you. Eric Von... Hold on. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. All right. His name is Eric Von Daniken. Eric Von Daniken, and that'll be him. The guy with the blue on. It's called... Eric Von, you got to watch this documentary with him. Oh my God, it's crazy what he says in it. Von Daniken. Right there. The gods were aliens. Eric Von Daniken, right there. You could type that into YouTube, okay? Right there. Type that into YouTube, and you will thank me later. The way he describes it, man, it's crazy. Good night, guys. I love you.